Before this video starts, I would like to say that editing Ghostly here, we forgot to include our mic for like the first part. So on this episode today, we're not gonna have the first portion, but that doesn't really matter. It was just a bunch of random stuff with Monica saying hey on the second day. And that's pretty much it. If you guys like this video, you already know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe so you can stay ghostly with the Ghostly Nation. I'm still trying to figure out a name. And without further ado, let's get this video started.
Ghostly, I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Make you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Hey, wait! Nothing's wrong with manga. Nothing's wrong with... Natsuki finds yourself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Ghostly always gives it his best, and as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Like, what did you want me to do? Just sit there? Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Ghostly can become good friends too. Putting me on the spot like that. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Then never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out the book and I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. As we could, discuss it if you want. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much? Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried into a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh! I hear Natsuki utter an Bro, what kind of sigh from within the chest? She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box that she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I never heard in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you could do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say nothing. It was in the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Ghostly. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoved the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. Don't just stand there. Ooh. What the fuck kind of noise was I just made? Ooh. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the window sills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why is that? I guess it's easier to be closer together like this. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's partially a bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space, while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Well, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I finish the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happening yet, so I could talk at the same time. It looks like it's a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kinda grew out of these since it's rare for writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. Besides, it's so entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it good. There are so many touchy parts. Is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? What? Like, why do I keep making that noise? It's literally the dialogue. Like, why do I have to say, what? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but there's a lot of baking in this manga. Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah, why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like I would never get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that's impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess I explained Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all hobbies to pick up for manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? God damn. Hold on. Is there any way to see this like full screen, bro? I want to see this like full screen, bro. We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. How do I go full screen? No way to go full screen. Okay. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Hmm? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get any friends reading it, or get my friends reading this. They just think manga is for kids. I don't know. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Erg, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? Yeah, on me. You call me a loser? Stop the madness. I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kinda a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah, I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happened. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finished this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words how you feel and connecting with someone else like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience. The thought makes me smile a little to myself. Stop! What? Are you all ready for today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but... Monica just said... Don't be dumb, just take it home with you. Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this, but I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I'd never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poem rooms. Sayuri is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Oh shoot, okay, we get to choose. So I think we just had that moment with Natsuki, so we're gonna go with Natsuki first. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It probably wouldn't be only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, he rereads my poem. No, never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You're supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying that you liked it. Eric, Natsuki retort gets caught in her throat. What? Ooh, you're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or lose that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Grr, fine I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek. Fuck me. Oh wait, where was I? Owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Okay. People can try. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest, I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for the rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Let's go, Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. So sorry, I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not, I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I'm guessing that might be after reading that. I guess that might be. So it's bad, is what you're saying. See, that's why I shouldn't have chose Yuri. Yuri need to get out the classroom because she just called my poem bad. I didn't even do nothing. No, did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. Can I skip Yuri? I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to a new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think that the most noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you could be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that goes into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in this club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki, or all three of us at the same time. Let me read it. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ah, hell no. Ghost under the light. Oh, so this is about me. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstand the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That was beautiful. That was elegant. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? That was amazing. I wasn't think that at all, but it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I should think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive and straight to the point. It wasn't too short, was it? I usually write longer poems, but not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into Ghost, Yuri? Yeah, actually the story isn't about ghosts at all, Ghostly. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Oh, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember the poets often express their thoughts, feelings, experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive, honestly. It's nothing really. Well, makes me happy that you think that. Fuck you. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Who should I show it to next? We'll do Monica. This is a good poem, Ghostly. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. And I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time. I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how much you really are a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact I'm standing in front of you in the classroom. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I will break my promise. Yeah, it's like I said before, Ghostly. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Try new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all, like, I'm just a good guy Ghostly. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold to that then. I'm gonna hold you to that, yay. Now, you'll read my poem too, right? We'll see about that. Let's see. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. Okay, I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Ah, yes. I didn't even mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyways, thanks for showing me. This was so nice. Monika's the best. Ah, yes. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Now I have to show it to Monika. Hey, Ghostly. Having a good time so far? Ah, yes. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have a suggestion for the club, like new activities or things we could do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring up things, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better of just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Ghostly. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I am gonna come out of my butt. I like it, Ghostly. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There are lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They could be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. What you trying to say? I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I could get comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. The best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else writes, okay? You write the way you want to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident, of course. That doesn't mean I always am that way, you know. Okay, I see. Let me see the poem. Hole in wall. It could have been me. See the direction, a sparkle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. My fault. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for you. It's okay. Yeah, that's kind of style have been pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of it had been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strong. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here, Monika. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you're trying so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Saori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes landed on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange each paper, sharing their respective poem. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow on frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you had to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but I really don't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestion, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Ghostly did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions on my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I do not expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Ghostly liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just Yuri said that was a... Maybe you just said that Ghostly appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. You. Well, I wasn't that one. I wasn't the one who had the boobs magically grow. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys. Suddenly both girls turned toward me and... Ghostly, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn how to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convulsing for no reason? The meaning should jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Ghostly. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Ghostly? Well, how did I get dragged into this? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I racked my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with a few words can be just as impressive. It lets the reader imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Haha. Shows how much you know. That's not Natsuki. I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was mean to me. Natsuki voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Saori is nodding. You don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets cut in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally muttered that barely audible. Yuri. Yuri looked at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for Ezra. And then Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Rosie. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about, glances around the room. Would everyone stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time when it's than she boasts. Oh, blah. Sorry, and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori. I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. I pat Shari on the shoulder. Well, no, everyone reads each other's poem, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone, especially you, Ghostly. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lacing and blah blah blah. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So my job joining the club was responsible for running the atmosphere? No, not at all, not at all. There's still time before we go home. So we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides all chatting, we do literature-related things in the classroom. So maybe you could take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what this club is for. I disagree, Monica. Yeah, about what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say that it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Ghosty, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll all do the same thing tomorrow, and maybe you learn something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more. If any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. Not to myself with newfound determination. Ghostly, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, what happened earlier? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Ghostly, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is making me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught up to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Alrighty. We're going for 100% Natsuki. A. Doki Doki. Pink. Fuck. I gotta go back. Oh no, I gotta go back. Yo. Shit, my last autosave was so long ago. Fuck me, bro. And it's so crazy because like all of these are so easy. Never mind. Fluffy. Suicide. None of these are even for Natsuki. Like, my dream. Alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna end it there. If you guys are enjoying this video, if you guys are enjoying this series, let me stop. If you guys are enjoying this series, hit the like down below. If you're not, hit that dislike button even though I can't see it anymore. And
So those that gas.